guys, but I'll try to do a couple of short ones before my battery power dies out. So this is actually going to be just what's happening for the month of July 2025. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And also just a note that you're all timelines, so take it as it resonates. Some of you may be going through this energy currently. Some of you it may be further out. And if it's not your story altogether, it's not your story. In addition, this would be relevant to different aspects. So we are looking at love, life, finances, just the general overall. And how I read it is I will be reading the initial cards, and then we'll go through all the clarifiers following into more detail. But we're just going to start out with the main energy. So what I see here as your main energy out is the only one that's a major arcana is the Chariot. And that one's in around your career. So let's look at that one as a favorable advancement. So I've already kind of given you a little heads up on that one. But the rest are dealing with, certainly there are some levels of restriction, but for the most part, it looks like there's some kind of celebratory energy here as well. So when we get to the King of Cups, and again, I'll just kind of go through the rough idea of all of this first, and then we'll kind of tie it all together. The King is a mature energy, so you could be dealing with a water sign, could be dealing with a father figure, something of that sort. But it is also a level of being in control of your emotion. It does feel like you're in touch with your feelings, not a lot of overreaction, and again represents as Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So this is also sort of being in that sphere of, answers are kind of close to home, and you kind of consult with yourself first before you make any improvements or make any changes. So it's really, you being in a space where you are, where you're really trying to lead by, self-control, and you certainly are harnessing the emotion or the intuitive side of self to deal with whatever is happening in this month. So again, King of Cups, being in control of our feelings, home and family is important to King of Cups, and certainly along that line of Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, don't have to be dealing with those specific energies, but it certainly does indicate you could have characteristics of that coming out in those that are around you. This does indicate that there is some level of emotion as as a major factor in July. So it does mean that you're kind of maybe tempering your emotions down or whatever, but we'll sort of follow it out with the Hierophant. It does tend to me, with the Hierophant following, that there's a major connection that's sort of in a healing process, but we'll kind of get into that here in just a second. Okay, so now again, we're going to go to the details here in a second, but we are looking at Six of Swords. Now, again, I've asked for different aspects from different cards. So they, in a very general sense, the Six of Swords could indicate that there is some level of distance or some kind of way from any difficult areas in your life, because this is a triumph over. So there's a level of healing, there's a level of balance in face of change of some sort. So it's like you're closer to a goal than you think. And the Six of Swords is that transition card. But of course, it is going to be something that kind of heads with the mindset first before it kind of moves into more of the pentacle energy, physical attributes. Hi, Patrick. So Six of Swords, again, it's like there's a communication of some sort that's going forward, but there is still a little bit of a back and forth energy. There is going to be something around that's a bit of a challenge. Could be with a father figure, could also be around something that's Libra energy, and sure, but there is definitely a change could be in around with a younger person here. Well, but there's clarity coming in. We'll get right into that here in a second, but we'll just sort of start with that. And then the next card's out is the Eight of Swords. So there is where you are kind of self-sabotaging. Oh, thanks, Patrick. I appreciate that, guys. And hi, Brish. Sorry if I mispronounce. But the Eight of Swords is a level of, self-restriction. We'll go through all the details again with it in a minute here, but there is some area around nostalgia, childhood, or something around the past that you want to be feeling a lot more secure with. And it definitely feels like there is some really good energy around that, actually. So I won't go into all of it yet, but there is definitely a success card that goes with that. Now we're kind of getting into, there's some kind of a relationship for sure at the forefront with the Two of Cups. Certainly does indicate that there's a lot of emotions in this month, I would say, as well. And again, we'll go through the details, but we are looking at dealing with somebody who has money. And again, the King of Pentacles could also be that you're sort of building on your wealth, but there's communication or information also around money. Something is still a little bit at bay with the High Priestess, but we'll get into that here in a second. Something is not revealed or ready to be revealed. We also have the Chariot, and it is more around the career area. So there is something here going forward with a lot of success, a lot of ambition, a lot of drive, huge vision, creativity. But the Tower moment, that is where we do see a little bit of shadow work kind of working in that area, is sort of allowing you to not only go with a new beginning, but there's also a 2.0. So there's something that you've done before kind of repeating here. But it's a new start, it's a money start, and something's coming in quickly with that, and that's around your big manifestations. Again, we're going to go through all that in more detail. And then the last little sets of cards is just one more after this is the Three of Cups. Some kind of social event could be in things here, something that you're celebrating around, something balancing out here, and it could very well be around friendship or something like that, where everything could be again Libra energy, but there is some kind of real strong worry and burden that you're almost almost done and dealt with. And then we've got the Temperance card balancing out with the Two of Wands going forward. Again, we're going to clarify this and get more detailed. Last cards out. Maybe I should save these for the last because I won't even go into the details on that one. I'll just tell you 10 of Pentacles is where it starts, and that is legacy money. That is a definite upgrade. So, of course, that would be our money cards. So we're going to go right back to our original start and get right into it. Okay, so as I mentioned, King of Cups, we are dealing with mature energy, could be father figure, and this again, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But either way, it's mastering one's emotions. And this connection seems to be a very heartfelt connection, whatever this water sign energy is. The Hierophant is more of an established long-term connection. This is somebody that you've known for some time, not someone new. So for those of you that this is looking for a relationship, I'll have to pull separate cards on that. But this seems to be for someone that is already involved in a very structured long-term kind of connection. So there is something here about even I did see the Three of Pentacles that came out there. Hi, Pog. The heart and okay. How very interesting. I'll have to make sure to look that up. Food for thought. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, when we're looking at, but just in thinking about that, actually, I am going to have to check that out because, and I'm not going to say it out loud just for other viewers might be it, but I do know that, the heart muscle has at least the what is it? I used to know all of this. There's three different heart muscles there. The peri, and what was the other one here? There's three different muscles to the heart there, and I just can't think of it for whatever reason. What is that? Have I been here before? I'm not sure. But either way, okay, so we'll get right back into it. I'm easily sidetracked. All right, so again, dealing with the Hierophant, we are looking at some kind of, it could be a marriage or it could be a long-term connection, could be common law, whatever, but it's very traditional sort of feel to it. And it is somebody who is definitely in, like it plays a role of an expected relationship where it's stable and there's some kind of long-term rules around it, that kind of thing. It's a strong commitment either way. Now, I would say if you were dealing with this for those not involved in a relationship, it's definitely you being very connected to some kind of traditional, conventional system. So this could represent as water sign, a father figure, or something dealing with corporate energy here as well, but it is paramount here. So whatever this is, whether it's romantic connection or like long-term, long-standing connection, there's a lot of feelings around it. And certainly it could also be for others in terms of, I'll keep that in mind, Pog. Anyway, but yeah, so anyway, it is definitely you somehow deepening the values around that. And it seems like there's some kind of healing that's on with that connection. I would say that this could be taking the time to sort of, spiritually evolve yourself as well, in dealing with your emotions, trying to heal the emotions on that level as well. And it could be involving spirituality for others, or it could be even part and parcel of the whole picture. But either way, I do feel like you are dealing with things that deal with areas of, areas of formality, and there is a lot of illumination to healings in the round of connection. Now, the Four of Cups does tell me that there has been a lot of apathy or letdown. Fours are still a balanced number, though, so it does feel like it is something stable, solid, all of that. But the Four of Cups, it's like something didn't quite work out, a lack of healing in a particular situation as well. But again, there's a lot of cards that kind of speak to things still changing in that area. So it's not a one-time deal. But anyway, either way, Sorry, I still can't get the thing out of the heart muscles in there, right out of my head. I was just going to say, and I do know that your heart muscle works different ways, when you exercise aerobically versus doing weights and aerobic type of activity versus, like I said, weights. I know it works out the inner to the outer muscle. Just as a side note, you can look that up. But anyway, I'm just blanking right now because I didn't get a lot of sleep. So Four of Cups, again, is still dealing with something. It's a relation still healing because it has been a bit of a letdown. I would say there's been a lot of hurt feelings and kind of an ongoing sort of thing. I'm not, as much as I like kind of like the witchy thing, it's more the Halloweeny sort of aspect of it. I don't sort of delve deep and get right into, I don't know. I don't get into it on dealt with it on more of a spiritual level, responding to Pog. And I do like the 70s show. I don't know what the 70 movies Burning Man is. I'm a little more drawn to the comedic, but yeah, anyway, back to my thing. So, like I said, there's something here about regret in a relationship, and it just feels like it's still in a place of healing. There's Five of Swords, there's still some stuff that's changing there in this month. This could be a little bit of harsh words as well, because this is not necessarily it's still healing. So again, it's where somebody feels like they've been abandoned, or there's been, both parties fought, but for no real gain. Like no one side won, and so one person is only really seeing things their way, the other person is only seeing it their way. So it just feels like it's an unfair playing field, something like that around this connection. And again, it does feel like things are still changing, but you're involved in that. And so it's like you're confronting the issues head on, but you're not really solving the problems entirely yet. So it's still a struggle. However, based on this, and again, this is clarifying energy. Thanks, Pog. I appreciate that. I do love the science stuff. I have to catch me on a day when I'm more alert. But anyway, the Three of Wands is definitely moving forward with something. That's an actual action. So there's something here about a little bit more momentum. Things are starting to broaden or expand. There's more planning engaged with this particular relationship or connection. Doesn't have to be a relationship as in romantic. It can actually be a friendship or something like that that might have been in disarray, or having some kind of issue around it. But I do feel like this is the threshold of that change. So there is some kind of success that's going to pay off, an important milestone with the Three of Wands. So it's like you're looking forward more optimistically, but it's like you're on a mission with this. And it feels like, you've gone as far as you can with a particular situation. And it's like you have to kind of involve something else. The Knight of Swords is like taking action. It's also piercing words. So it does to me still feel as though just as far as that energy around relationship, like I said, it doesn't have to be romantic. It just feels like there is something here about, I don't know if that's distance or not. Because with the Knight of Swords, it's like there's advanced progress in some way, but it's like the progress is coming in maybe faster than what you had expected after all this level of disappointment. Now, I don't know what I mean by progress necessarily, because it could be very small or it could be very large. But because the Knight of Swords is a really ambitious card, it comes in really quickly. To me, it's almost like there's something here about a restlessness or an unsettled energy, like something is missing and you want more than what's sort of showing up here. So it's something like that. So even though it's advancing, it's like maybe it's not advancing fast enough because of that connection, but to the other card, and that impatience might work against you a little bit in that particular situation. Again, doesn't have to be romantic relationship. This can be just friendship or family or whatever, but it's some kind of relationship where the bond is having some challenge. Now, we also had the Eight of Swords, and again, that's that self-sabotaging kind of energy. So there is something there. Eights are still fairly balanced kind of energy. You standing in your own way, nothing a direct obstacle here in this reading at all. But it's almost like you're being triggered again in some way. So you feel like, you're dealing with, this could be dealing with a child, somebody you're dealing with that you're triggered by, or something of the past, nostalgia, whatever that is, you're triggered by it. Something here that kind of speaks to, you know, because the Eight of Swords, like I said, is something about the surroundings. It's a trigger, it's a restriction, it's thinking the worst about an emotional situation. And it definitely is around Six of Cups. So I would still say deep down, you're maybe confused about where you stand in something, or you feel misunderstood, something like that. Six of Cups usually would be a pretty positive card, but again, it's clarified with sort of a negative energy there. So I would still say that there is still something of an old memory, and again, this could be childhood, children, nostalgia, whatever that is for you, but it's still something like, you feel restricted by that. You feel held back. And it could be around a family dynamic as well with the Ten of Cups. But it's almost like there's still a sense of hope for it. And this is legacy money. This is legacy money came out. That's what I was with the Ten of Pentacles. But you also have the Ten of Cups. It's further out, but it's here. So it's almost like there is this energy of, it's just an energy of, wanting the relationship, around, it could be wanting the relationship of family to be more fulfilling. And it's certainly around a family dynamic. Again, it's whoever family is for you. So your foundation, but there is something here that's coming through quite positive. And not only that, even with the other cards here, it's sort of speaks to the same, because the Ten of Cups is about finding, true happiness. And of course, with the Four of Wands, that's also sort of that same energy. It's like complete happiness. It's emotional harmony. Again, there's still some restriction around it, or at least you're feeling a level of restriction around it, but it's like something is saying loosen up, because this is still moving in the right direction. You are still safe. You are still protected. Things are still falling into place. Whatever the past differ, there's still something that's going to subside here. And here's the final card with the Six of Wands. It is a definite yes, it's a definite gain for you. So again, even in terms of, doesn't have to be around a family dynamic, but definitely around your foundation, definitely around stability. Whatever this is for you, there is something here that's looking excellent, and it's long term, and it's long term happiness. And it does feel like this is a win. It's a solid win. Something is going to make you feel a little bit empowered in this month, possibly a little further out, because these are clarifiers. But when I see Six of Wands, that's an absolute, victory of some sort. Six of Wands is definitely the action, getting notoriety. It's, a little more attention on yourself, that kind of thing. So however that resonates for you, but it's a victory card. And it definitely means a sense of award or gain or promotion or raise. Again, you're in the limelight, but it seems to very strongly affect the home front and ability. And it definitely is around getting something that you wanted, around nostalgia. But again, you're so worried about it, thinking that things are not moving in the right direction. So maybe there have been some events kind of led up to, not feeling supported, or someone not seeing your point of view, or not feeling your value, that kind of thing. But somehow in the end here, you gain. You do get the rise in, like you're in better shape in some way. So it just feels like, I mean, I would say it's more along an emotional front, not so much finances in this particular section. But it definitely is something around family that's really going to make you feel like something has moved in a more prosperous direction. Again, not prosperous as in finance, but emotional. There's more stability here, and it is making you happy. So we'll kind of go through that again and tie everything in its entirety. Right now, we are moving into Three of Cups. So again, there's something here that kind of gets to, the Three of Cups can also be kind of an indicator of, like I said, I mean, this sort of a group dynamic. So there could be of an event or something you're going to, but I definitely feel like it's a happier time, or there's some kind of celebratory energy here. This, again, kind of feels very strongly around family celebration, because I had, because of the Three of Cups, but also, so much of the family energy with the Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands, and all of that. And of course, we have further out the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm really getting the feeling like there's some kind of event or some kind of holiday, or like something that's going to be associated with a holiday or an event that's going to bring a lot of happiness for you. And I would still say that maybe that's where something goes a little bit more, something gets balanced out. with the Justice card. And of course, that's your energy here as well. So it's like an accomplishment or a contribution. Something is publicly recognized, but something gets balanced out. Old wounds heal. Whatever this is, it's allowing you to move forward, and it is through something that you're obviously very worried about, like that you're not thinking is you've got sleepless nights over something here of mental confusion, migraines, anything like that, feeling powerless, that thing, somehow trapped mental kind of entrapment either way with the Knight of Swords. But again, there's some kind of belief or change that has to take place in your mindset you to kind of get past this. But it's 8 and 9 of Swords, so you're deeply conflicted about this, whatever this is, and it seems to be around the especially with the 10 of Wands following, big burden, but it's protected. It's balancing out. Yeah, the Justice card, the Temperance card. It's like no matter what direction this is going, it is still moving in the right direction. So despite your frame of mind about it, I just feel like overall you are still moving in a very positive area. So again, we still have the 2. It is still, you have the 2 and the 3 of Wands. So again, there's something here that is allowing you to feel more confident in the decision, eventually moving in the right direction. So again, this can be ships coming in too, but because it's sort of coupled around all this family dynamic and whatever it is that's been burdening you, that's been really tough on you, that you've been really worried about, that's where you're going to kind of get this little victory. And again, it's involving other people. It's a happiness. It's like a working partnership, and it's a working dynamic, more friendship, group oriented, not just cooperation with 2 people. It's like there's more involved there. And it just feels like you're able to visualize the future but it's kind of a healing. Like I said, there's still a lot of cards of balance out with this energy here. Now we're just gonna, and again, we're gonna tie it all in again together, but we've got 3 more sets of cards to go with. So the Chariot, again, this is more the career area, and I definitely feel you are strongly taking the reins and kind of pushing ahead to the month of July. Because where the Temperance and the Chariot, this is like kind of that career person, this is somebody who's really doing moderation in the way that they kind of push forward, but we also have a strong vision with I feel like the ideas or something is very clear in your mind about how to go forward. So again, Chariot is still in around something here where you're kind of taking the helm, you're at the helm. It's a Cancer sign, water sign here as well, but I do feel like there's a lot of energy of go for it. This is your purpose card. This is a strong create your own destiny card. This is all around that energy of a very focused journey. So I really feel like you were strongly motivated around that with whatever it is. Some of you, it could be around travel by car, but I just don't see the Sun card or wherever you'd be transitioning to, or World card. So to me, it's more along the lines of something around feeling very empowered or what's the word, confident about your direction. I just feel like, because the King of Wands, this is somebody who's really sitting in their power, and they really, with the Chariot, there's a strong focus with that combination. So I feel like if you're really working on a project, it just feels like you've got the self-discipline, really get it, make a big move in this period to get something done. So a big, strong, King energy is also going to take you there a lot faster when you have a strong vision. But King of Wands is definitely Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. And again, could be just the characteristics, doesn't have to be specific signs. But it definitely feels like it's relentless energy to get something, really pushing something hard that you have a vision for. You really want success with whatever this is. And it feels like self-starter, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy. Again, this could, for some of you, it might be self-employed, public relations or whatever, and promotion, advertising, sales, whatever kind of comes with this card. But I would still say overall, it's inspirational kind of energy. It's, somebody who's mastering something, and they're really in control of the direction. Now, the fact that I see the Tower here, the Tower is also followed up by a water sign. So I don't know if there's going to be a bit of a crisis situation where there is going to be something involving a car, something involving, some kind of issue there. But I mean, the Tower energy, of course, is some kind of significant change or something that's coming about, and it does affect you on an emotional level. It does feel like it could be around a little bit of anger there because it's sort of a fiery energy, but it's also dealing with something of an instability. So there's something that's a bit unstable around that energy. But right before it gets to not only the Fool, but the Fool 2.0. So this is big, big starter energy. It's like something is, you're ready to jump in. It doesn't matter. No matter what, you are ready to jump in. It's almost like this could be in 2 or 3 directions here as well. This is going to be lucrative money, though, for you with the Ace of Pentacles. But like I said, the 2.0 card is different. I'm just trying to find the deck on that one again, because that is, it's like you've done something before, and it's like a second chance around at making it happen is what the 2.0 is. Can't find the deck anyway, so we'll just kind of jump right in there. And of course, with the Ace of Pentacles, this is good monetary start for something, very grounded energy. It's something that has, you're just at the beginning of it. It's not something that, but it definitely supports long-term wealth, and it is stable, it is abundance, it's new money that's coming in, it's a fresh start. It is definitely a lot of, it almost looks like this could be 2 or 3 projects that are kind of coming in with this, 2 for sure. But I'm going to say it's like the timing is right for something to start with this career path. It's like a new stream of income or new financial opportunity or something associated with it. Now, the other part is again, for some of you, this is a new job that's coming in. And if it is a new job, it's something you've done before, but there's also secondary to that. So again, I feel like you've got a solution here to something, and it's coming in quick, 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 quick. And it feels like it's around something you're manifesting, something that you've wanted. It's not something that's just kind of springing to the forefront here. It's something of a new business, financial opportunity that's going to change your life. And I feel like this is going to bring you a lot of long-term security and satisfaction. So whatever this is, it is improving you on a physical and mental level. So financially, like I said, you're going to be able to accrue more value in some way. Magician is all about making it happen, having the skills, and it is something you are currently in the energy of. So again, Magician is still that construct of, how do I, still about, it's still in the mind. You have the ability to make something happen, but it's still going to take the momentum, the energy, which I see here anyway. So there's a lot going on that way. So it's like recapturing something that you were doing before. It could be even recapturing, like recapturing a dream or something like that. But I definitely feel like this is, your finances is going to improve dramatically over fires, but they're going to improve dramatically in this next little bit. So, and I feel like this is skill building, because this is like, soon you're going to be learning some kind of important skill set as well that's going to elevate you to the next level. And I believe the 3 of Pentacles in here, I keep thinking that, I keep seeing it. So either way, I said it's taking something to the next level, and it's still involving a lot of other people. So again, there's group dynamics involved there. So again, we're going to tie it all in together here, but I want to get right into the last cards out here as well. And then we'll just, but either way, like I said, this is empowerment. This is changing your life. And the other final cards out were, actually, did I go through the 2 of Cups? I don't think I did. This is more relationship kind of energy, loving, romantic kind of energy for me. So 2 of Cups, decisions around a coupleship. It does feel like a lot of nurturing coming through. If we're just talking about not a friendship in this one seems to be more along a romantic sort of tone. But the 2 of Cups is, really more of a reciprocated kind of energy. So it's like a significant improvement in some way with a relationship, where someone feels a lot more complete, a lot more emotionally. It just feels like there is more emotional balance and even more of a friendship in the connection, I would say. So I feel like you just feel strongly connected to somebody in the period of July. And with the other one, there's again some kind of a challenge. But even with the King of Pentacles here, it's like there is even bringing 2 ideas together that really kind of makes you feel complete of some sort. And again, the 2 ideas are there, the Fool and the Fool 2.0. King of Pentacles, this could be somebody here that is coming in that you're cooperating with, but somebody who has money. This is somebody who knows what to do with money. King of Pentacles is Definitely a mature energy. Certainly feels like this is someone who really knows how to get done, who really does focus on the benefit of the dollar. You know what I mean? Like they know, they don't take it for granted. It's not like a spendthrift energy. Somebody really knows how to get their value out of what it is that they put to. So, like I said, King of Pentacles is a really strong card of being sure, and it certainly speaks to success and accomplishment, all of that. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus might also be relative, but there's also something here about a professional contact, somebody who's very practical in the way that they deal with things. So this does kind of speak to, like I said, even information or something that's coming through. Page of Swords, again, to me, again, is that information coming through, but it's also somebody who could be spying or watching you as well. Could be a younger person, somebody with a lot of money, but it could also be that the King of Pentacles is the mature energy and is doing a lot of watching or something like that. But there is kind of a thirst for knowledge. Well. So, and especially spiritual knowledge, especially when I see it tied in with the High Priestess. So again, there's something here that is like you're thirsty for knowledge. There's something here about information being communicated to you here as well. And I do feel like strong curiosity energies, just strongly curious. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius also coming through with the Page of Swords. But High Priestess is really the mystery, the unknown card, the things that haven't quite happened yet, things that are still sitting in the recesses of your mind. So it could be that you're kind of keeping things to yourself, not really speaking out about your inner thoughts. But certainly you're curious about a lot of spiritual matters here. But there definitely is something here that's hidden from you. It's not quite out into the ether yet. High Priestess is still sort of being neutral in a situation as well. So there's something, like I said, about dealing with the parts of your personality, maybe working through some shadow work, but not willing to act just yet because you don't have full answers. Could be also dealing with a Cancer sign as well. And that's come up more than once. So I feel like you don't have the full story to something to be able to go forward. But again, Scorpio comes out here, but it's just a lot of secretive, sort of sly energy is what I'm getting off of that. And again, there's something here around the finances, around the money, but it still feels very positive and hopeful around connection. But there's still something there that I just am not quite certain of yet around that environment. But it still feels very positive for the most part. Okay, so now we're going to tie it all in. Now, I will go through the final cards out, which would be the Ten of Pentacles, which are totally amazing. And we'll also pull through some other cards that were from another deck. And I will read those to you here in just a second. Okay, so starting out with tying everything. Hi, Marianne. Sorry, I didn't see everybody's comments there. I kind of get locked into my mindset. So yeah, so anyway, kind of going back here, and maybe we'll start with that King of Cups energy, because I think I sort of did it backwards here. All right, back to the King of Cups energy here. So as I mentioned, timeline on this might be that, in the beginning of the month, of July, it feels like that connects with kind of emotional maturity or something along that line where you're calm or there's a deep caring or something like that, or there's hope or there's healing in a connection. It feels like it starts out as, in a very positive way with the star energy. And of course, remain compassionate and all of that with that energy. And focus on what's hopeful rather than the fear and the disappointment, which kind of follows with the Four of Cups. So again, just to kind of reflect back when we got the Hierophant, this is that energy with the Hierophant and the Four of Cups where there may be a focus on the commitment or the tradition of something and doing what is expected, but there's also a sense of it not living up to your expectations. So there's a sense of sadness or emotional dissatisfaction, boredom, whatever it is here. So whatever this is in terms of a work situation or in terms of a long-term connection, it just feels like, you're doing what you have to do, but it doesn't feel like it's fully kind of bringing out what you need yet. I would still say your advice is kind of reflect on what you truly want from the connection and then try to align it with your values, that kind of thing. Or asking yourself, is it aligned with my spiritual values or is it just comfort and familiarity? So something like that kind of comes into play. Now, the fact that we do have the star card out here as a healing energy, that's still really positive and promising. But again, there's some kind of a shift that's still taking place in around conflict of some sort, in around something here, a misunderstanding, again, battle of egos, whatever it is here, but someone feels defeated. And again, you're still looking ahead though. And again, despite the harsh words and whatever, you're still looking ahead with the Three of Wands. So there is planning, there is future steps. You're considering the long-term direction. And again, there's swift action with the Knight of Swords. So there is something here about strong communication as well that might be a little bit harsh. Oh, your ex lives in his ego. Too big for any relationship. I understand that. Leo. Yeah, that's right, Leo. Sometimes you're Pisces. So Knight of Swords, like I said, is swift, direct communication. Again, could be a little bit harsh or words, something impulsive that's kind of being carried out there. But I feel like overall this connection will involve emotional maturity, and there's still some hope there. But again, it's dissatisfying, or there's some disconnect emotionally at this time when you kind of look at it from the whole of it. So the conflict or the harsh communication obviously is the highlighting factor here. But the main energy out, it's still expanding, it's still going in the right direction. But lead with compassion, lead with maturity, lead from a very calm place. So again, there's going to be some kind of element of looking forward to the shift of planning these next steps, where it's obviously coming after some kind of tension with that Knight of Swords. So the communication, like I said, is a little bit abrupt or harsh, but I still feel like overall, whether just thinking about, again, those questions, is it lining with your values and that kind of thing, or is it just cutting words, you're not communicating clearly? So it's not really in a space where you can both make some kind of negotiation or communicate properly. Then it might be time just to sort of focus on on yourself or the things that you can control for the moment. So like I said, the connection, just feel it is emotionally unfulfilling despite your efforts, even though you still have more of an optimistic, hopeful, beginning here. So again, there's a lot of spiritual growth though with those cards. So I feel connection, despite the fact that there's a lot of pain that's going with it, it is helping you to evolve on a spiritual level. So there's something there about you reaching new emotional depths because of it. So despite the fact that you've got some confusion, despite the fact that there's disconnection and conflict, I feel like you navigate it through with maturity, and that's helping it to kind of swiftly, move toward, a more positive path where it starts to expand and where you can focus on the healing. So I would say that, yeah, either way, I mean, it's still pretty good. Like I said, it just feels like it's not fully developed just yet. Again, this could be friendship, this could be family, this could be because a lot of family cards here. So people that you would consider family, these aren't new relationships or new connections, for whoever this resonates for. Now, the other part is the beginning of July. Again, I want to say, like, because the Ten of Pentacles is here, that begin is, that's your first card out. So that does tell me there is going to be stability in this month. There is going to be security and a completion of a financial cycle. So that means that you receive some kind of family support, inheritance for some of you. But either way, something you feel secure about in terms of your resources. Now, I'm not saying big win necessarily for everybody, but there definitely is something here that speaks to a major financial goal or a chapter that is completing. So you're kind of getting ready because you're completing a cycle here, and now you're getting ready for the fulfillment and the readiness to kind of level it up. Queen of Pentacles knows what to do with the money. It's more of a receptive sort of taking it in rather than, but there are optical steps. And again, there's your Three of Pentacles. That's why I saw it there. That was, I just hadn't pulled it out yet. But the Three of Pentacles, leveling it up, taking it to the next level. You are done. Like, this is all really hopeful. You were almost to that end with the Nine of Wands. Four of Swords, like, you are tired. You are wanting to pull back. You want to escape. But there's something here that says keep pushing forward. You're super, super close here. And again, it's a major financial goal. It's a major financial goal because not only do you have the Chariot as your main card out, you have the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Cups, you have the World, you have the Queen. These are all major, major cards. The Sun, optimistic. Like, everything is getting brighter. Keep following this path, whatever it is that you're doing. Nine of Wands, you were almost there. You were almost there. Once you get to the 10, it is a done deal. And again, we have the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles in this read. So, and like I said, I feel like you're nurturing your finances or you're really budgeting. You know, it's certainly your main focus. You're really prioritizing stability and comfort, and you're really being wise about your money in the month of July. And I do feel like it is going to be a team, so to speak, with that collaborative energy, Three of Pentacles. Um, so there's definitely something here about, more than one person. I'm going to say this is sort of a group. They're kind of teamwork to build it. And it is income, it is growth, and it is support from others. And again, you could be working with professionals because we have the King of Cups, King of Pentacles, and that could be completing a project with financial returns. So you might be very close to completing this project, is what I'm kind of gleaning from most of this. Now, I would say late July, because that Sun card is here, and that's a Leo energy there as well. But because that's Hi Wolf. Yeah, absolutely. All you can do is your best and stay positive. Keep your head up high, 100%. Okay, IGG or whatever. I, first off, I don't believe in the demons. I don't believe in I believe negativity is out there. Don't get me wrong. And I still believe that when you kind of, if you sit and mope and you're in a dark space, and we all get there, for sure, you're going to attract those kinds of things. Doesn't mean it's Satan and the devil and whatever. It means that you're attracting a lower vibe energy. You can put a name to it if it makes it feel better, but I definitely believe in spirit, and I definitely believe in a God. But again, it's hard to, is it a man? Is it a woman? Is it a child? Is it a, so it's really however it speaks to you. I just don't believe in the demon thing. I really don't. I'm not saying that there aren't negative people out there that are, nasty. I mean, they absolutely are. And I mean, but that's the point, is gravitate toward the things that are more higher frequency, higher vibration. Try to keep yourself in more of a positive state so you're not around that crap, that kind of thing. Anyway, the sun, this is financial clarity. This is positivity. This is success, clear, bright, optimism, returning, all of that. And again, like I said, even though you're sitting at of Wands, you are worn out in July. You are feeling burned out. You're guarded. You're protective about your money. You're exhausted. This has been a persistent challenge for you. And I feel like you really need the rest. You really want the rest with the Four of Swords. And I definitely feel like this is a sense of exhaustion, but persist, keep persisting, because that rest, that pause, that recovering of your energy is going to bring about some kind of financial, gain in the long term. And this isn't just like one-time money. This is something that will feed you for a long time. Sorry, just reading your comment there. Don't let the don't let the negativity, I should say, the monkey on your shoulder get the best of you. Totally love that. You're empty, so I feel other people's emotions and energy because you're empathic. Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like you can walk in, read a room, and know who's in pain and so on, sometimes to our detriment. Okay, so the underlying energy, again, was where did I have that Six of Cups? Sorry, just kind of bouncing back here. There it was. The Eight of Swords with the Six of Cups. So the overall energy, like even in terms of finances, there is support on the way. I mean, this is dealing with something from the past, or people that you've known from the past. Could be child here as well, but it's coming from someone from the past, family, or an old connection where this money is coming in, and it's like a kindness, a generosity, and it's bringing some kind of emotional comfort here. So overall, financially, July is looking pretty good. It's stable. It's a completion of goals because or pretty darn close to it because of the Ten of Pentacles in the world, but we still have the Nine of Wands there. For some of you, it might be a little bit further out, but it's still wise, grounded, good management of money, teamwork, support, all of that. It's like success is there, the clarity is there with the sun. And again, it's like you are an inch away from this. These are the Ten of Cups, I think, was the first one that came out there, actually. Yeah, the Ten of Cups. Something is going to bring you a fair amount of happiness. And it's like, and again, I still feel like there's some kind of celebration or something coming through in this period. But I feel like you are still remaining grounded in your spending and how you manage your finances. It's not going to be like, free for all, but take the breaks, avoid obsessing over your finances. It is burning you out a little bit here, just as a side note. But it's also reconnecting with us. Like I said, you have the Six, you have the Three of Cups, that Six of Cups energy, definitely a lot of family energy here as well with the Four of Wands, home front. things around ability, people that you consider, support for you, past contacts, that kind of thing. But it's like it's a month of completion, and it's a month of rebirthing the finances. A lot of focus on that finance and grounded action, teamwork and gratitude, and really you're reminding yourself, or to remind yourself, you've got joyful outcomes here, but again, you have to remind yourself to rest, preserve your energy. And so that's what I would say is kind of the main energy out there. Now, how you're feeling overall in the month is, of course, also that Three of Cups sort of energy. So how you're feeling kind of overall is there are some moments of joy here. There's moments of connection. There's social engagement, that kind of thing. Supportive friendship, celebrations, some kind of emotional relief just to give you a little bit of a break, but it's through a level of companionship. And again, Justice card out here, that is strong desire for fairness, balance, and truth. That is also your energy, and this certainly speaks to acting with integrity. So your emotions will be measured and thoughtful. You'll be really careful about the cause and effect and how you phrase things. Nine of Swords, of course, is a lot of anxiety. You do have some sleepless nights, and that kind of thing is your overall energy as well with the rest. But, even though, despite the fact that you're feeling overwhelmed by your thoughts or your fears or, overthinking responsibilities or relationships, the majority of the cards are quite positive. And again, Ten of Wands, that's the final end. Like the burden, the physical burden seems to be where you've been carrying too many responsibilities. And I would say this is where you're feeling that mental exhaustion. And I feel like this is where you need to either delegate, release the load, just avoid the burnout by, just taking your hands off some of the projects and saying, I can only do this with this. Temperance, despite all those worries and the burdens, I feel like you have some very peaceful moments in this period as well, that really help to balance you out and create some patience, inner harmony, all of that. This is kind of the core stabilizing energy there this month. So again, the final card out with this one was actually at the bottom of the deck, with the Two of Wands. So to me, the underlying energy is that you feel restless about planning. You're looking to the future. There's something here about wondering about your choices and your direction in terms of what's next, as far as what's next on the path, So again, overall, in the month of July, I would say you do feel very supported by your friends. There's moments of joy, like I said, and I feel like even though there's some periods of anxiety and overthinking and still some heavy burdens to kind of counter, I still feel like you have some moments of calm, healing, and patience within yourself that you take off, go to parks, or whether it's out in nature or seeing a movie or whatever. So again, there's a lot of really good energy, and there is restless energy though as well. So I would say, just on reflection, something that you might consider is, when you balance out your responsibilities with moments of inner peace and celebration, you start to see the new horizons. But if you don't, you just start to focus on all the negatives and the things that aren't working out. So it's really kind of, reminding yourself of your vision. Why are you doing something? What's important? How will it be enacted? It's kind of laying out the plan that way. Know your who, what, why, when, where, how, that kind of thing. It's breaking it down into pieces and manageable steps. What is my month going to look like in terms, like, what's my goal? Okay, there's a lot of things that, that are said about keep yourself busy but not actually making any real progress. So it's important to make sure that you have a strong intention on what it is that what your goals are spiritually, what you actually intend, and that you meet that goal, within a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever, and dances and so on. I would still say you were feeling like with the Eight of Swords, I feel like you're finally freeing yourself up from that mental entrapment, especially with the Eight to it's like it's advancing. So even though there's still a lot of working through that, I feel like you're starting to see you're not as stuck or powerless in a situation as you might have initially felt when you went into the month. Because again, there's a reunion, there's a nostalgia, there's some sweet memories, there's something that are coming through, connecting with someone from the past, more, simplicity that's kind of returning to your life in the month of July. And again, there's some acts of kindness coming in here. So you're receiving a gift from someone or something, is close to your heart either way. But the Ten of Cups is a big one to come out here. And that was the main energy. Oh, in this bunch, sorry. I guess that was in this one over here. Yeah. Well, it was the Three of Cups. Three of Cups was your first out card. So just getting my hand in too many. There it is. So yeah, the Ten of Cups, that is like an excellent pile. So I'm going to say, overall, this is that sense of really finding some emotional fulfillment and peace in this month. I don't know how you're doing it, but you're bringing it in and you are feeling content with what's happening. Again, maybe there's some level of peace on the home front with the Six of Cups, something, of stability returns to the home front, or there's good news that's related around front, something like that, something that you were worried about, actually turns out in a positive way. So it's worth celebrating, celebrate those milestones basically. But I feel like overall you're feeling a lot more safe. And again, with the Six of Wands, this is recognition. This is you being appreciated for your efforts. You've overcome some kind of in this month. So definitely really good energy there. So again, you've got freedom from mental restriction because it's Six of Wands. Eight of Swords to the Six of Wands. You have freedom from mental restriction. And it's like there's also that sweet reconnection or emotional healing from the past with the Six of Cups. And again, I feel like emotional happiness return. Again, could be around childlike a child as well with the energy there that's next to it. But I still feel like there's some kind of joyful milestone. And it allows you to let things flow. Like once you kind of release your own worry over a situation, it's difficult to keep that obstacle in place because you've almost set it to the side instead of juggling all the responsibilities or all of the mental, issues of overwhelm. It's like you've put a few things to the side, so it just makes it easier for you to. Sorry, I gotta just close the window, guys. 1 second. Trying to remain bug free. But either way, I just feel like there's a better balance. The emotional heaviness that you've been sort of feeling on a, of daily life or whatever, I feel like that's going to shift up so that prioritize only what matters, what actually advances you in some way, because I feel like all the other tasks are draining your focus. Yeah, we're almost done there, guys. So when we kind of got to the difficult cards over here, so again, there's a patch here of some challenge because we do have the Five of Wands. And again, that Five of Wands, the Emperor, is still telling me that there's a conflict. There's a competitive energy, jealousy, something like that, with possible authority figures or somebody who represents as a father figure or an emperor or somebody who's coming across as quite rigid, dominant. But it's like, even despite the fact that you feel challenged, you're still kind of standing your ground here. Like I said, Queen of Swords comes off with some harsh words as well, but there's a big change in that area. And again, pick your battles wisely is basically the advice on that, rather than reacting impulsively because you're already overwrought with a lot of other challenges. So it's, just to kind of save yourself the grind. But I feel like you don't want to become overly rigid with yourself because this is still a very positive card. Even with the Queen of Swords, with the Ace of Swords, like clarity is coming through, still doing the juggling, but you're transitioning away from all of that. That Queen of Swords energy does tell me that there is something here about a need for you to remain detached, or you feel you feel the need to remain detached in a logical space, clear-headed, and maybe that's because you feel like you need to keep your mindset clear so you can focus. But it might come off as a little bit overused and cold if you're doing it too often, but it's still learn to balance it out with logic and compassion, but communicate clearly without cutting others off. Just know what you want to say in the best shortest version of saying it. Of course, that would be me because I'm a little bit wordy. But anyway, like I said, Wheel of Fortune, there's a big change coming here, and that does speak to an unexpected shift, a fate driven event, that will influence the obstacles here. So again, with the Page of Wands, and it's right beside it, that does tell me that there's going to be a marked new beginning here for you, and it does feel a lot more carefree. It's also a message of some kind of communication arriving. Could be an immature energy about impatience as well, that could cause obstacles if not grounded. But I still see with the Ace of Swords that it's a clear truth or a lesson that's coming through, or some kind of communication about something that that might leave you It's like you're cutting through conflict, but I'm not sure why the Two of Pentacles here. You're cutting through the conflict around something that you've been juggling. So there's something there about you're moving away from difficulty because of that Six of Swords energy. You're moving away from difficulty, from the emotional baggage, while you're juggling the responsibilities. So that still the conflict, still the competition, still is with authority or some kind of rigidity around a father figure or something like that. It's balancing things out by being a little bit detached, but not, not being so cold that you're unrelatable. But there's something here, like I say, the underlying cause is the Wheel of Fortune. So that challenges a change. And it does feel like there's inspiration with the Page of Wands. Something's going to arise, but keep it grounded. Decisive action is the key to overcoming the obstacle with the Ace of Swords. So if there is something you need a solution to, you're finding it. The other part is advice, again, is prioritize mental and emotional healing this month before you take any new burdens, because you're already kind of dealing with an awful lot, I would say here. Approach conflicts calmly, not defensively. Balance out what's true for you, and communicate that truth. So it's not acting defensively. Like I said, it's this is what I want. I'm not tell you how I feel about everything. I'm just going to say this is what I want. How can we meet in the middle? So stay adaptable to change, and then you'll get a clearer idea of where to go with it. But either way, I feel like the obstacles that you face this month are guiding you toward more balance and calm. And I feel like that's going to give you a lot more strength to be a lot more powerful going forward. So, like I said, I think you're really in a good, clear space, or you will be eventually, because the Cherry King of Wands, strong, determined progress. So, definitely focused on your goals, whatever it is for you. You've got strong focus, motivation, discipline to get there. And I definitely feel like that's showing a lot more confidence and leadership with that King of Wands. So, I feel like you really using your vision to step into that role. It's one that's inspiring, it's strategic, and it's a creator energy. The only thing that I would say that kind of comes to into question was our tower moment, and I've got to find where that one was again. I think that one was over here. Yeah, that was around the career front. Something of a tower moment was kind of peeking through. So I would say that this is some kind of unexpected event or like an inner realization that kind of shakes things up and sort of shifts the whole direction of something in around your career. And I feel like it's an external interruption that kind of forces you to rethink something. There's like confusion because of the moon card that was out there. Again, could be dealing with a water sign as well. But that is a major arcana. So it's like a hidden truth of something. There's confusion, there's fear, there's doubt that comes it comes in that tower. So it's like something that was hidden is coming to the forefront that you're going to learn of in July. That's what I would say there. But if it is a shift in something that you're doing in the external world, because that kind of looks to be that energy, the fact that you have the Fool and the Fool 2.0 and the Ace of Pentacles together, that one really speaks to amplifying that new beginning. So I feel like the Fool is really a playful energy. It's really trusting your intuition. It's open-hearted, especially when the Page come out there as well. So I feel like it is a seed that's planted with the Ace of Pentacles, and you definitely have some kind of, you're launching something. You're launching something. That's what I feel is happening there. And there's going to be rapid movement around a message, some kind of swift progress. Something is going to really accelerate, like a breakthrough in what your career issue, or why do we keep saying issue? Whatever your career focus is, there's going to be some kind of accelerated progress. It's like, it could be an epiphany, but usually judgment comes through for that one for me. But either way, it's a strong, driving, confident energy, sudden change, sudden revelation that might shake up the plan, or a hidden truth comes to the forefront here, but it's allowing for a new beginning and an opportunity to arise. And again, it's rapid communication that's coming through, but I feel like use that determination that you have to really establish your direction in this month. Don't fear the tower moment, because it clears the illusion, it aligns you with the deeper truth, which is the moon, right? It shows a little bit of the light. You don't know the full pathway yet, but the Fool's energy is playful and experimental. Trust your creative instincts on something, and then really ground your ideas with that Ace of Pentacles. Really grind it into something that's going to manifest, but it'll be steady, incremental. But even still, I feel like respond swiftly to the opportunity. So I do feel like this is a journey, like I said, around your careers that revolves around a revelation or some kind of renewal. Something becomes really clear, and it helps you to plant the seed. And it's just like then it just sort of takes off. And then adding that Magician to the mix, like I said, that's just really strong, powerful manifestation, really setting those clear goals, visionary, like I said. But whatever that tower is, it's going to be a sudden change or an insight, some kind of truth that comes through there that's going to help you to guide you into an awareness over a fear or over something that's strong emotional for you. Yeah. But again, Magician was your underlying energy with the Eight of Wands, so it's fast progress, communication about it. It's a breakthrough. Something really strongly accelerates, and it is going to be around your manifestations, around your focus, around your goal, whatever you're putting your huge amount of energy into. So, like I said, there will be a disruption. A hidden truth is coming. There is double new beginnings in terms of an opportunity, something that you've done before that's going to be coming in, and something else that's new. There's going to be rapid progress with something you're working on. Definitely strong creative energy. I feel like use the early momentum to sort of set your direction. So when you get that momentum, set the direction. And I do feel like by the mid-month shift, that's where everything kind of aligns to whatever that deeper hidden truth is. And I feel like you'll be able to kind of ground your ideas and put things into a practical action, actionable steps. And there's also something there about think about your words as creating world, they shape your reality. Your beliefs shape your reality. So I feel July is going to bring swift movement, breakthroughs, an awakening of some sort because of that Magician energy as well. I feel like you'll have clear intention once you learn of that, and then you'll be able to build your reality, and your soul just explodes with whatever happens after that. I wanted to get into the like in short as well. I wanted to go through these ones here again as well. But in short, like I said, I feel like you're kind of saying to yourself as well, like a lot of the cards here, it's like you're in the energy of this wealth. And it's happy energy. And it's like if you were to say to yourself, what are the top 3 priorities I can do for this day? That's what you should do so that you can, create more momentum and kind of give you a little ease and peace, I would say, in July, because there's still lots going on there. Even in terms of a love connection, like I said, with that 2 of Cups, there's strong attraction, mutual attraction, harmony in a connection, strong emotional connection. But, and I feel like somebody's going to express their feelings to you as well. Still stabilizing, grounded energy, responsible. Security is kind of at the forefront here with this group. Yeah, but I would still say that there is some good things there, but it's almost like it's residual energy with a lot of the other stuff, because a big change is going to come in, and again, it's a revelation of some sort, but it's this positive energy. So I just want to go through these ones here again, because like I said, 10 of Pentacles, World card, Queen of Pentacles, Sun, 9 of Wands, 4 of Swords. That really speaks to, I think, the culmination of everything. This is the long term. This is what you can expect long term, is that stability, shared value, commitment, building something that's going to last. And I do feel like you are so close to completing it. That's what the world is, like I said. I feel like you are integrating a lot of things together to really make something happen. So that means your efforts around love, finance, self-development, it's like you're reaching some kind of a milestone there. And again, it's very practical, nurturing energy. Home has some sense of stability here, working together, shared goals. Like there's just a really good layering of these cards at the end. Optimism. This is reason to feel uplifted. Yeah, like I said, it's like warrior energy, standing strong, resilient. Nine of Wands. Recharge before you move forward, though. But I think overall, by the time you are done this journey of whatever this little section is that you're really focused on, I feel like you will not only have gained, gone through some kind of, it's a major chapter that you're getting through right now for whoever this resonates for. It's a major chapter, and it feels like that major chapter is you're also reaching a financial or security area of your life that is closing that major chapter, and you're doing it with wisdom, and it's grounded and it's nurturing, and it really does support a long-term stable, grounded sort of outcome. So, like I said, I just overall, you need to stay focused on this, but recover and then realign, for what's next. Because the completion is here, the success is here, you're already in the energy of it. The Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles. It just feels like the next chapter is going to unfold in pure light. So there's something here about rest because it's going to renew your strength to finish it and push it through to the next chapter. So that's what I have for you. And um, I would still say, like, even in terms of love, just as a side note, because I know I didn't really cover an awful lot of that, I still feel like there is even a completion with that in say, meaning that you're seeking some kind of long-term potential with somebody, or you want to integrate something together. And yeah, oh, you're welcome, Em. And just finishing it up now, but I just feel like overall there is still something here that is, you're really career motivated more so than love motivated, I would say, at least in the month of July. But I still feel like one connection you're kind of working on, and you've got to just kind of let it run its course a little bit here, because again, it's kind of water sign energy. But actually, you know what? We haven't done these cards yet. Do our final one. We'll just pull two cards. This one is sorry, I'm just trying to. Okay, this one is the Angel Guide Oracle. And of course, I don't use it all the time. So let's just pull three cards, see what it says. By Kyle Gray. Kyle Gray, Angel Guide Oracle. What's happening for the month of July? What are the biggest energies out for July? What's messages that need to be known? Do the work, which I see you are. Joy and contentment. And yes to what? Yes to the sacred plan. Interesting. Okay, let's tie that all together. And I'll refer to my book on this one. Oh, that is so good, Em. That you bought a house and you paid for it. You're retiring and you're going to start homesteading. Love it. Yeah, oh, I love that too. Oh my gosh. I think about nature and I think about the ocean, all of that too. It's peaceful. Anyway, okay, so Kyle Gray, Angel Guide Oracle. Do the work. Joy and contentment. Yes to the sacred plan. So, based on that, we're going to kind of look through our book here. Okay, so I would still say that, doing the work is really about being consistent. And I would say it's grounded action. So to keep doing what you're doing, it basically creates some kind of flow, and it clears the steps that the steps that you need to take will be clearing as you go forward because you're dedicated to it. I do feel like there is a lot more inner peace that's coming in for this month. Like I said, according to the cards here, joy and contentment, there's a deep inner peace, emotional fulfillment, and I feel like you are choosing gratitude over that striving energy. There's also something about releasing the anxiety and rest. And then, of course, we've got yes. So it's a clear communication that yes, you are affirmed, that you are aligning with the sacred plan, with the bigger purpose. You are doing what you needed to do. It's unfolding and it's all divinely orchestrated. So there's something here about that perfect timing for your soul, growth, your life, mission, all of that. But yeah, overall, I mean, when you act and you're committed to it, you can trust that there will be something at the end of it that you gain or learn, or there's peace, or there's a sense of fulfillment, and it's because you're in the flow of life. So, yes, it's already written in the stars for you here. So, you just have to continue to align yourself, dedicate yourself, and keep moving forward. Hi, Anita. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys, because that was a nice long read, and I am almost dead on my phone here. So keep moving forward. We'll see you in the next read. And until next time, enjoy your July 1st holiday.